We're live. Hello, people. Welcome back to Joey's Movie Vlog. I'm your host, Joey Strandberg, and today we are going to be discussing some Clone Wars and more. We're going to wait for about 5 minutes to get this all started. I'm actually going to be taking these 5 minutes to put this all on social media. Looks like we got one person in chat today. Feel free to ask any questions because the show technically doesn't start until 5 minutes in. I am just putting something out on Instagram now. Now onto Twitter. But yeah, quarantine is going well so far lately. It's not the worst thing as it was towards the beginning. Whew, boy, it's just crazy. And I'm going to show you guys. This is basically Inception. It looks like we got 2 more people in here. And we now are down to just 2 people. Feel free to ask any questions before we get to today's main topic on the live show. I actually wanted to do this show on May 4th, but my power went out pretty late in the night when I wanted to do it. And then it came on around 10 o'clock at night, and I could have done it then, but then my internet was still down for the rest of the night. So that was fun. But I kind of partied with some Star Wars stuff. The Disney Plus Gallery of the Mandalorian series is starting, which I loved that first episode. So who all is in today? Say hello. Oh, and then the new Jedi Fallen Order update just came out, and it's just I find it crazy that now we could actually use a red lightsaber, even though I could see why they didn't put a red lightsaber as an available option. I want to get my back, the stuff on my backdrop showing. I probably need to. Probably gonna pause this, see if I can not end it, but pause my live stream real quick. because I want to fix my angle. I really need to plan these out more. You want to know how to pause a live stream? Ugh, you guys are just witnessing my struggles. Anyway, I think since we're 5 minutes in, I would start discussing today's main topic of the day, and that is Clone Wars Season 7. So, my history of the Clone Wars, I have been a huge fan of Clone Wars ever since it was a thing. I saw the movie in theaters. I have a lot of fond memories for that movie, even though I'm aware that it's probably the worst in the saga. I haven't watched it in a while, and I'm not the biggest fan of the first two seasons now because they were more kid friendly compared to the newer seasons. And then seasons three, uh, season three was great. Season four was even better. Season five and season six were great. So where do I fall on season seven? So this season is 12 episodes each, divided into four arcs that are three arcs that are 4 episodes each. So you got the Bad Batch arc, you got the Trace arc, and then you got the Siege of Mandalore. So the first 4 episodes, they're pure Clone Wars. They're fantastic. They're on a search for Echo, who is a clone trooper presumed dead, and it's just like action packed. And there was one really really great moment with Mace Windu where he's all like, "Throughout this war, I've dispatched multiple more than I could count of you," or something like that, and it was a really nice humorous moment. And then the second arc, though, I wasn't really that interested in. Not for some of the reasons that some people about the whole SJW haircut thing or whatever the heck. I do not care about SJW stuff. But like it was just so boring, and Trace and them were not very good characters in my opinion. I found them rather that it's like Trace and Rafa, I think I just found to be really annoying characters. And then um, the story just wasn't that interesting to me. So going into the Siege of Mandalore, I was actually flatlined. Like I was aiming for about C plus for the season so far. Um, it, but then like that first episode of the Siege of Mandalore arc um, blew me away. And when it ended with, "I was expecting Kenobi. Why are you here?" I was floored by it. It just, and then like it felt like Star Wars. And then for the next 3 episodes, I was actually staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning because that's when Disney Plus launches the episodes in my time zone. And so I um, stayed up to watch the Phantom Apprentice, and just that is one of my favorite Star Wars things of all time. It just that lightsaber duel between Maul and Ahsoka blew my mind. Um, they actually got Ray Park, who did the choreography for or who played Maul in the Phantom Menace, to come back to do mocap. I forgot the person that did Ahsoka's mocap, but she did a pretty good job, and um, it was mind blowing how well they were able to accomplish this art, that lightsaber fight. And then, like, the next two episodes were just so emotional and they pulled my heartstrings. Like, we got to see Order 66 and all the stuff with Rex, and I found that to be very intriguing. And Maul has a scene that in a hallway that just rivals Vader's hallway fight scene. Um, and then that final episode is my second favorite episode of the entire series, where Vader, at the end, where Vader picks up Ahsoka's lightsaber and realizes that he's just lost everything. Um, and it actually, this is something I don't see a lot of people bringing up. When the Stormtrooper executed those astromech droids, I was like, I screamed at my TV. It made me so sad. Um, but yeah, in my opinion, this is like some these like last few episodes are some of my favorite Star Wars stuff. The so overall, when it comes to this season, I really enjoyed the Bad Batch arc. Did not care for the Trace arc or whatever they call that arc, and then the Siege of Mandalore is my favorite arc of the entire show. It's very hard for me to grade this, but I think I am going to go overall a B plus for this season. Um, I went that Trace arc really holds the season down for me personally. Um, I also figured, since I never talked about it in before, why not discuss The Mandalorian? So, The Mandalorian is a show that I was very, very, very looking forward to seeing, because it just screamed that it was something different, and it was something different that I really wanted for Star Wars. Because I'm not gonna lie, the past few years I haven't been 100% enthusiastic over Star Wars. Um, the fan backlash to The Last Jedi really soured me. Solo, while enjoyable, also kind of soured me. And Episode 9, I was really looking forward to, but I was very disappointed by the film. So, Mandalorian is really what I needed for my love of Star Wars. Um, and it was great. I loved season one. It had an episode that I was not very crazy about. That's the gunslinger with Bobby Cavalli's son. Um, wasn't very crazy about that episode, but like just and like it shocked me when like Mando used his rope thing and like uh pulled a guy back in through and then just shot the door panel and cut the dude in half. I'm like, whoa. It really shocked me how they're able to pull that off. Of course, Baby Yoda. Uh, he's been memed to death, but he is also adorable. Yeah. We get introduced to some new characters like Apollo Creed. Well, Carl Weathers, but he's Apollo Creed to me. Plays a crime boss. He was great. Nick Nolte plays one of those uh, people that were trying to burn 3PO in Empire Strikes Back. I know a lot of Star Wars fans are going to want to have my head on a pike for getting those species names. I don't care. You could claim I'm not a real Star Wars fan all you want. Um, and then Cara Dune was an interesting character as well. Um, it was very interesting because they didn't show Mando's face until the final episode, and it was only for a brief second. And I loved the character. Um, so overall, A minus for uh, Jedi or Mandalorian. Now, another thing I really want to discuss was Jedi Fall. So EA has been a bit of a mixed bag for me in terms of uh, their games. So I was really pumped for Battlefront 2015. I was just so excited. I couldn't wait. And it ultimately it was pretty terrible in my opinion. And um, when it comes to Battlefront 2, I was also very disappointed, but EA managed to make it so that they made a better game over time. And so I had hopes that this game would actually be one of the better Star Wars games. And it turns out it's my favorite Star Wars video game of all time. Yeah, it was fantastic in my opinion. Yeah, I love how it felt like Uncharted mixed with some Star Wars elements. The lightsaber combat blew my mind. Uh, Crafting your own lightsaber. I wish they put Coruscant in it. Hello, amazing film guy. Battlefront 2. Uh, yeah, I do wish. Like, I'm a bit bummed that this is the final update and we didn't get Ahsoka. Because I really wanted to play as Ahsoka in Battlefront 2. Um, but that's more of a fanboy thing. Um, but yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is my favorite, uh, probably my favorite Star Wars video game. Sequels or prequels? Ooh, that's a good one. Because I love 2/3 of the sequel trilogy. Um, Force Awakens and Last Jedi are both in my top 5 favorite Star Wars movies of all time. But when it comes to uh, Rise of Skywalker, it's a film that the more and more I think about it, the less and less I like it. I've seen it 3 times. You personally like the sequels? Yeah. Um, I enjoy I love about two-thirds, and I mean, I could watch Rise of Skywalker. I don't think it's a terrible movie, but it's not my favorite Star Wars movie. I give it like a C plus, B minus. It's an enjoyable but frustrating watch for me personally. I really don't like uh, the whole Ray Palpatine stuff, and it is a mess of a film. But that is just my opinion on it. But yeah, I hated rape. Yes, it's just like so throughout the entire. When it comes to like the sequel trilogy, my favorite character was Rey. I enjoyed seeing her in Force Awakens and Last Jedi, and I was really looking forward to seeing how they wrap stuff up with her in Rise of Skywalker. And unfortunately, I was just I don't. I actually love what they did with. Yes, I don't mind what they do with OT characters. I like what they did with Han. I like what they did with Leia and Luke. Um, I kind of wish that we got more Lando and Rise of Skywalker. Lando was kind of like thrown in there for fan service, and I did enjoy the Yoda cameo in the Last Jedi. That was one of my favorite scenes of the entire film. Um, I don't mind the whole like Luke catching the lightsaber thing because I feel like that's what would happen since Luke went through his character arc in Last Jedi. I will never understand why some people hate what they did with Luke because like what were they really expecting them to do? Like, was Luke supposed to be like a old hermit in Rise of Skywalker? Still, I will never understand that. But I also just wasn't crazy about what they did bringing Palpatine in, and it makes the original six movies kind of pointless. And in a way, um, it's like I still love these movies, and they're in my top five favorite Star Wars films of all time. But um, it sort of lessens the impact because I feel like I was a bit cheated on this journey. And I could tell that they didn't even have a plan. They should have taken. Yes, yes, I agree with that. They should have taken what Rian Johnson did. Um, because, in my opinion, I think Rian Johnson is the best director to helm a Star Wars movie since Irvin Kershner. I am Fandom Menace people will be outside my home later tonight. Um, they're going to bring Molotov cocktails. Um, I'm probably just, yeah. And Ryan John, and like a lot of people say Ryan Johnson's like, oh, he's the worst director of all time. Even if you don't like The Last Jedi, watch his other films. It's like the dude knows how to direct a film. Knives Out was like, I it's like my second or my first or second favorite movie of last year. It's tied with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but off subject. But he can craft an excellent film, and I think they should have uh, made Colin Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates instead of uh, this film. And like, I also forgot to show off this edition of Rise of Skywalker I got. I love that poster for it. 100% agree. Thank you. I love this poster for it, and um, all the artwork for it. You got Ray Palpatine or Skywalker. I actually do not hate the Ray Skywalker moment. You got Finn and Janna, who I feel like Janna was an interesting character, but she wasn't in the film enough. And then Poe and Zori, same thing with Janna. And then you got the discs in there. Uh, I will say that Rise of Skywalker looks really, really good on 4K. And there's something I find kind of sad. Um, um, they put Rose uh, in here despite the fact she's not in the movie that much, which I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of Rose that much, so it didn't really impact me that she wasn't in there, but I do think it is unfair to Kelly Marie Tran to be uh, nearly cut out of the movie due to fan backlash. And it also comes with this booklet. And I love that poster right there. I know it's on the back of the 4K slipcover, but for me personally, it's one of those things where, like, I wanted something like this to kind of be how I present it on my shelf. And another thing, I do plan on getting the Skywalker Saga 4K set. Um, that's I'm in the process of saving up, but it comes with a pretty nice booklet for it. It's like it's Kylo and Rey. Gotta go for a few minutes. I'll be back though. I will see you then, amazing film guy. Like, you got Kylo and Rey in the hangar with the Rey Palpatine reveal. You got some art credits, and then Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Then you got the visual effects supervisor, Roger Guyette. Um, and then you got Ray, whatever her last name is. I don't even, like, I'm so used to, like, I call Luke Skywalker. I just call Leia Princess Leia, Han Solo, Lando Calrissian. But, like, what on earth do I call, like, I don't know if I should call Rey a Skywalker or a Palpatine. Kylo Ren, in my opinion, he's my favorite character in the sequel trilogy. Finn, one of the more wasted characters in the sequel trilogy. I loved him in Force Awakens. While I loved Last Jedi, I wasn't crazy about what they did with him. Poe Dameron, really cool character. And another thing about Finn, through the entire movie, he's all like, just Ray, Ray. I just I got General Leia Organa, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher, Lando Calrissian, who I enjoyed it when he was on screen, but I wasn't that impressed. Well, I loved it when he was on screen. Wanted more of him. Uh, BB-8 and Dio. Um, love BB-8. Dio, I thought was pretty funny. Zori, a character I wanted more of in this film, but I enjoyed it when she was on screen. Jana, same thing. I was actually very interested with the Stormtrooper thing. Wanted more of it. Ooh, the Sith Trooper. These are cool. Ajon Kloss. I did not know that was what the planet was called. Kasana, another desert planet. Wish we got a better planet. Kajimi, a pretty cool planet. Um, Keith Beer, one of the forest moons of Endor. Yeah, really, really cool planet. I enjoyed the lightsaber fight on it. Exegol, probably my favorite planet in the sequel trilogy. Really cool planet. And then just some behind the scenes stuff. I do plan on getting the Skywalker Saga box set, and then hopefully in the near future, possibly in the upcoming few weeks, I will go in detail about that one when I get it. If you guys would like that, at least. Yeah. We have one person here waiting for a amazing film guy to get back. Crap. My Instagram thing did not go through. My internet has been sucking lately, unfortunately. But another thing, I listened to the audiobook of the Rise of Skywalker novelization, and it doesn't really fix anything. It really disappointed me, just like the film. I'm also debating on picking on Birds of Prey. I really want to check that one out. Missed it in theaters, and it's too late to go back now because of COVID-19. Ba-ba-ba. I guess only one person is in this chat. I'll need to get off soon in about 20 minutes. Because I do have something I need to do. My dog is barking great. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. But one other thing I want to do is I think I want to take these last few minutes to discuss my superhero collection. So we're going to start this collection off with my Marvel stuff. Egg. Here movies. So we're going to start off with my MCU collection. I don't have all the MCU movies, but they're in chronological order. Captain America: The First Avenger, Steelbook, 4K. It's great all. Avengers, need this one on 4K. Iron Man 3. Avengers is one of my favorite comic book films of all time. I'm a huge fan of this film. I was blown away back when I saw it in theaters back in 2012 when I was 8. Iron Man 3, underrated film. I got tired of hearing it that one day when everyone was making a big deal. Guardians of the Galaxies Volumes 1 and 2. I'm a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Prefer the first one, still love second one. The second one. These are two of my favorite MCU films. One of the best, Winter Soldier. Man, oh man, just what a film. Age of Ultron, okay film. Well, I like this film personally, but it's not a great film in my opinion. It's nowhere near, like, of all the Avengers films, I have the least interest in rewatching it. Ant-Man, a fun movie actually. Could have been a bit better with they stuck with Edgar Wright, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Civil War, one of my favorite MCU films. I'm not sure if I like it more than Winter Soldier or not. Though I haven't seen those two like in close enough proximity to say if I like it more. Spider-Man: Homecoming. I know MCU Spider-Man has been a long debated Twitter topic, but I like the MCU Spider-Man films more than the Tobey Maguire movies. High top film people. Yeah, sorry. Black Panther. Oh wow, sorry. Black Panther is a good film. Did it deserve the Best Picture nomination stuff? Absolutely not. Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, this film went in with middle expectations, came out being made by it. That the Led Zeppelin stuff made it. And then I got one of the best duologies of all time. Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame, this is actually the first time I've ever pre-ordered a Blu-ray or 4K. It's like just it's a beautiful steelbook, and I had to have my favorite MCU film on steelbook, and I love Infinity War as well. These two are my two favorite MCU films. Uh, then Spider-Man: Far From Home gets a lot of hate on Twitter. I love it. Yeah, into of Daredevil, big Daredevil fan. Love the first two seasons, and season 3 is my favorite season. But they haven't released that one on Blu-ray. Not sure if I'm going to get it on Blu-ray just because I don't even know why I even got these things. Because there's nothing all that cool about the Blu-rays other than having them in my collection. My X-Men collection, I got X-Men 2, my favorite of the original X-Men movies. It's a great movie, in my opinion. The 4K triple feature of First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. Apocalypse, pretty disappointing, but I love First Class and especially Days of Future Past. The Wolverine. I like this movie up until the third act when it gets cartoonish. Logan, the last X-Men movie. At least I think it is. Then I got the Raimi trilogy. I like the first one, but I do think on rewatch it's pretty dated. Second one I love to death, and then the third one is meh. And Into the Spider-Verse, my favorite Spider-Man film of all time. And then we get into my DC stuff. We're going to start off with Superman the movie. I need to get the Superman 2. Then I got this Batman pajama of the original 4 Batman films on Steelbook of all. Like, I got Batman, Steelbook so much. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and everyone's personal favorite, Batman and Robin. But yeah, they look great on 4K. I got my favorite comic book films of all time, Dark Knight Trilogy 4K collection. I love all 3 of these movies. Oh boy, here comes the controversy. Please welcome Joker. I love Joker. Joaquin Phoenix definitely deserved that Oscar, in my opinion. I know some people weren't crazy about it. I love it. One of my favorite DC movies of all time, Watchmen. This is one of my favorite. I actually have the graphic novel back there. I love this film. That opening credit montage, Man of Steel, and Batman versus Superman. I love Man of I love Man of Steel upon rewatch. Hated it originally. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. So frustrating to me. Has a lot of great parts and some not so great parts. Wonder Woman will be upgrading to 4K for this one to get that really nice steelbook this summer. Yeah, one of my favorite DCEU films. It's my third favorite of the ones that I've seen. Okay, I got, and these are the 2 DCEU steelbooks I own. So I got Aquaman, 4K steelbook, cheesy but really, really fun in my opinion. And Shazam, love Shazam. It's my favorite of all the DCEU films. We do get into my animated stuff. So yeah, this is all my animated stuff. So I got Batman, the complete animated series. It does come with Mr. Freeze and Sub-Zero and Batman Mask of the Phantasm. My favorite animated show of all time in my like not just comic books, but of all time. I love the animated series. Batman Year One, a fantastic film. Superman, Shazam, Return of Black Adam, pretty good. Short. Justice League War, pretty good. Gods and Monsters is amazing in my opinion, and then the Lego Batman movie, fun. Gotham by Gaslight, pretty fun. And then Batman Hush, disappointing. And then for William from Will from the Mr. Video Store, if you're watching, I own Under the Red Hood on this comic book style Blu-ray, and those are the discs. So yeah, that's my collection. I have to get off now, clean all this up, and then go do my stuff. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I can do this again soon. I'll probably wait until my online schooling ends in 4 days of school. This has been a very long few months for me, so thank you guys for helping me get through my depression and anxiety through this whole thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.